Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a massive, frankly unprecedented story shaking up the auto world. We're looking at Volkswagen's historic restructuring, specifically the 100,000 job cut proposition. So let's just jump right in. To really grasp the sheer scale of this situation, you just have to look at how insiders are talking about it. Sources close to the matter are literally calling this the biggest overhaul in the carmaker's history. I mean, wow. This isn't just a minor course correction or a little tweak to the budget. We're looking at a fundamental seismic shift for the global manufacturer. Okay, let's dive into this. The catalyst, global competition. So what's actually driving this? Well, the primary factor behind this proposed restructuring is the intense mounting pressure Volkswagen is facing from Chinese automakers. The international car market is changing incredibly fast, right? Specifically with this rapid, aggressive shift toward affordable electric vehicles. These new rivals are really pushing legacy manufacturers to take a hard look at their traditional operations and cost structures just to stay in the game. It's a tough market out there right now. Let's move to the timeline and see how this builds because, this didn't just happen overnight. Nearly 4 years ago, Oliver Blume takes charge as CEO. Then, fast forward to late 2024, and 50,000 job cuts were already agreed upon with the unions. Moving ahead to the week of June 26th, Blume presents these drastic new plans to senior executives. And all of that momentum leads us straight toward a highly anticipated supervisory board meeting set for July 9th. Section 2. Counting the job losses. Let's look at the math behind management's proposed restructuring. Okay, here is the first staggering figure. Volkswagen is currently weighing up to 100,000 total potential job cuts across the entire company. To put that into perspective, that's roughly the population of a whole small city, just gone. It's an absolutely astronomical number that really highlights the utter severity of this proposed plan. And breaking that down a bit further, more than 45,000 of those jobs are at risk specifically from newly proposed factory closures. We're not just talking about spreadsheet reductions scattered across corporate offices here. These are tens of thousands of roles tied directly to physical manufacturing locations that would actually shut down. And this brilliantly illustrates the cumulative effect. If you take those 45,000 newly proposed factory cuts and stack them right on top of the 50,000 baseline cuts that were already agreed upon in late 2024, you can see exactly how rapidly we're pushing toward that 100,000 total mark. The math adds up fast. Of course, these aren't just abstract numbers. Let's look at the factories at risk. Right now, there are 4 specific German factories on the chopping block under this proposal. Management is seriously considering shutting down operations in Hanover, Zwickau, Emden, and the Audi site located in Neckarsulm. Remember, these are tangible communities. They're significant industrial hubs that would bear the absolute direct impact of these closures. Now, what's really interesting about this next part is the looming labor showdown. The battle lines here are very clearly drawn. On one side, you have CEO Oliver Blume, who is actively trying to align his senior management team behind these deep, deep cuts. But on the opposing side, standing in fierce resistance, is a totally united front. We're talking about the VW Works Council, the IG Metall Union, and the state of Lower Saxony. Actually, the Works Council and IG Metall have already released a joint statement explicitly vowing to resist these cuts, so it's shaping up to be quite a clash. So the crucial point here is why this resistance is so incredibly formidable. The state of Lower Saxony isn't just some political entity voicing concern for its local citizens. No, it's actually Volkswagen's second largest shareholder. They hold massive institutional sway over the company's direction. That makes this whole situation far more complex than your standard management versus labor dispute. And all of these immense pressures, all these conflicting interests, they are barreling toward a critical juncture. Supervisory board members have been briefed on the plans, and they're officially due to be discussed at a highly anticipated meeting on July 9th. This date, July 9th, represents the immediate flashpoint where management's restructuring plans and that formidable union and shareholder resistance are going to directly collide. Which leaves us with a profound question to ponder as we watch this whole story unfold. Can legacy automakers actually survive this fierce new global competition from Chinese rivals without sacrificing their historic workforce? It's a defining challenge for Volkswagen and a massive test case for the future of the entire auto industry. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and as always, keep learning.